Welcome back to another One Piece chapter reaction. Cover story. Denjiro, Daimyo of Kibi, sentences the children. That was kind of funny. I wonder what's gonna come from that. Let's see what I was not spoiled on. This is a good chapter, I think, based on what I've heard. 26 years ago, Punk Hazard. Please, Vegapunk, you simply must study the Void Century with us. There's a darkness there too deep for the world to leave unaddressed. The more we study it, the more we require expertise in other fields. The more we require expertise in other fields. Okay, so before I move on, that line alone says volumes. So the more we study, the more we require expertise in other fields. So I'm just going to assume from that, and that means that the Void Century is full of stuff like advanced technology, maybe, ancient weapons. Yeah, history is not enough. You got to understand culture. You got to understand technology, science. You got to understand probably geography, maybe even meteorology. Who knows? As you can see, I'm a government scientist now. I cannot give you any data. Dang. Okay, so there's the dragon, very young, and I also see what looks like one of the numbers. How many times have you been arrested by now? They know exactly where to find you. Surely you know why they continue to allow you to live. Oh. Yeah, let me make this full screen. It's because they're biding their time until they can round up and wipe out all of your friends. Yep, that's facts. Pull back now. So what of the darkness? One cannot measure the good and evil of the past. Wow, he just keeps insisting on being neutral. He keeps insisting on being ambiguous. Like, yeah, okay, morality is relative, but it's still relevant. Just because it's relative doesn't mean it's irrelevant. I once saw a man with the name of D killed right before my eyes without warning. A man I was born and raised with, my older brother. My true name is Cloud D. Clover. And I only survived because I lied. He's a friend. Okay, so I was spoiled that Clover's a D. It was accidental. How is it right that a person can die simply for declaring the name they were given at birth? Cloud D. Clover. So he was a secret D. This is exciting. Spoiler or no spoiler, this is exciting. There is a secret history whose traces are continually erased. I will not help you with this, and I'll forget what you just said. The most I can do is tell you to be careful. Vegapunk. I will solve this mystery someday. The voices of the past will be heard. Cloudy Clover. And his brother. Rest in peace. 22 years ago. Okay, so 4 years later. Did you hear about O'Hara and the West Blue? They're going to place a buster call on it. Ooh, I wish I could see the slaughter unfold. It's Clover, the archaeologist. They finally caught him by the toe now. Oh, now no one will dare study the Void Century again. It's the perfect example to scare them all off. Please, Vegapunk. Oh, that was Caesar, by the way, if you were wondering. They say a single child escaped alive. Surely you had time to escape, Clover. Did he now? I never really wanted to consider that because of the whole Saul debacle. I mean, I'm not saying it's a debacle. I'm saying I'm glad he survived, but there's so many examples of times when I prefer characters not have died. I mean, sorry, not have survived. Now, Pell is not one of them. I'm glad Pell survived. I'm talking about Roshio the Executioner from Jaya. He should have stayed dead. Other than that, I hope as many people survive as possible. But I want a major death in the final saga, like in the final arc. Hopefully a Straw Hat, because I want to feel pain, as much of it as possible. I may have an issue. Did all of you die just to preserve this vast store of text for the future? It's preposterous. What lunatic would dare risk certain death to continue your research? Oh, so he was against it until then, but then he started getting curious. And maybe guilty. I think it was both curiosity and guilt. Someone once said that the voices of the past will be heard. History is told by the winners. And the voices of the losers at the bottom of the sea are so very faint, but the truth that was gleamed at the cost of so much sacrifice Okay, so we're getting Zeph. We're getting Tequila Wolf, which really, really shouldn't have been back in business. Those damn revolutionaries should have stayed. But actually, no, it just could be new prisoners being restarted all over again. Revolutionaries are busy after all, so slavery continued on the bridge. And we see Robin on Egghead, crying because she just can't stand remembering O'Hara. Hey, what are you doing? Has at last been told to the world just now. Shoot us off. Okay. Venus Juro is about to attack. No, you're not going yet. That horse Gramps is going to attack us again, and that's exactly why we can't leave. I understand that your ship can accelerate to fly a distance of 1 kilometer, but if he manages to reduce the run-up speed at all... He's charging. Your horizontal projection distance drops. It's a northward wind. That'll reduce your lift, and according to my calculations, the ship will crash on hard ground without reaching the water. As long as you don't get rid of that old geezer... Okay, so she's still a Vegapunk. It's easy to forget that Lilith is also a Vegapunk. Despite her violent tendencies... Well, I shouldn't say violent. Atlas is the violent one. Despite her greedy... No, York is the greedy one. Wow. Despite her evil intentions... She's hardly evil. She's just... slightly violent and slightly greedy. Wow. They're so vague and overlapping. Anyway, she's a genius, so good for her. And then Atlas, it's hard to tell what's beneath her fist. Oh. That's Lilith? I thought she was punching Venus Juro this whole time I was on this double page. She punched Lilith? As long as... Okay, I'm a bit confused. She says that, and then Atlas punches Lilith. Why did you do that to Lilith? Oh, self-sacrifice. Okay, I suspected that, based on the title of the chapter as well as the spoilers. I know that Atlas is not going to make it, but I don't know the details yet. Take care of Lilith. Fly. I'll remove the obstacle. What do you mean? Lilith's axe is just shorted out. Only Atlas is left. She'll survive. And I hope Lilith joins the crew because she's my #1 current contender. Take Lilith inside, Zoro. Okay. I'm just looking at all of the panels. Alright. Wait, Atlas, explain. Let's get going. Are you sure, Jinbei? Well, regret it if we're too slow to act. Hit it, Brook. As you wish. Coup? De? Okay. Venus Juro chops off an arm. But she has another one. And burst. I can only pray that this message has made it safely out to the world at large. What's happening, Vice Admiral Hound? That huge boar, the snake, the bird, the robot. I don't get it. I didn't hear about any of this. Giant robot. Is that an iron giant? Oh, Elbafs are boys too. Joy boy, I'm so happy I get to see you again. I'm talking to you! Yeah, I've seen that scene too. I think that's all the spoilers. I haven't even passed the halfway mark. This is the halfway mark, so I think we're clear. Man. Thank you, Atlas. I'm sorry for 1 year ago suspecting you of being the traitor. Based on theories. It was a good theory, but she's a nice Vegapunk. Okay, it would be foolish to hear... Wait. Yeah, it would be foolish to hear about a war 900 years in the past from only one side. Interesting. You go ahead. Your enemy is my enemy. Oh, I'm so happy. I get to fight for you again, Joy Boy. This is amazing. You can talk. Joy Boy is in danger. I must protect him. Okay, interesting. It seems we cannot end Vegapunk's speech unless we shatter this thing to pieces. That's what I was afraid of. Man, this robot must know things. Get the ship moving. Is that thing on our side, Straw Hat? Well, it says it wants to protect someone named Joy Boy. Who's that? Okay, so Luffy still hasn't put that together. Then the giants say it's saying something. I don't hear it. What, you don't? Okay, so yeah, that's the last spoiler. Just like with Zunisha and the Sea Kings, the robot can only be heard by the voice of all things, and that being Luffy. I'm really curious whether or not Momo can hear it. Or is this an ancient weapons situation? Because let's not get Momo mixed up with Shirahoshi, because she's exclusively for Sea Kings. Zunisha and this robot might be a whole nother ballpark. Don't just let them sail away. Fire. Yes, ma'am. History requires a multifaceted approach to understand entirely. If only I had more time on my side. Alas, there are forces outside of my ability to stop. It's winding up. It's gonna shoot something. Okay. It's a blank because it's old. It went poof. Huh? Look out, robot. Ah, Jupiter. Caught him. No, Robo! That's a 900-year-old weapon. Of course it doesn't work anymore. Crush it between your jaws, Peter. That's Saturn. Stop that transmission. Oh! The teamwork? Saturn jumps off of Peter? He's on the ship! You're not going anywhere. Kuma, Bonnie. It's the Sunny. And is that, hang on tight, going down? Wait a second, are we even going to make it? You would sacrifice yourself? Slice. Nope. Extra service on the house. Goodbye, Atlas. And they're flying. Okay. I'm trying to picture where all the elders are in my mind on the island. 25 years ago, the pirate Goldie Roger. That's it, we're gonna make it. Completed an unprecedented tour of the entire world. What was that? It can't end like this, Atlas. And what he and his crew heard. Atlas is gone. Now the only Dr. Vegapunk left in the world is little old me. No, not yet. Okay, wow. Ethan Baron Venus Joe got his head white-bearded. He got the white-beard treatment, but he's regenerating already. Not while the Stella continues to babble on. Right. The snail is still... The snail is still talking. But Stella's technically dead. Hopefully. I say hopefully for writing purposes. If he survives, that's great too. Okay, so... He's talking about Roger on the snail. And what he and his crew heard. It can't end like this, Atlas. Yes, of course. We'll stop it at once. They're charging the robot. Whoa, I'm all rusty. Joy Boy, you said when the time is right. I think this counts. I'm gonna use it, okay? We're likely... And what he and his crew heard were likely the purest voices of the past. Okay, so Vegapunk wants unbiased voices? But wait, wouldn't Laugh-Tail, sorry, be the losers? How is that unbiased? Unless it's not tainted by years of secondhand stuff. Like, it's not from a book. It was from the source. But how is it the purest voices of the past? Like, maybe it's a interface where you can actually talk to someone from the past, like an AI, and it's not just something someone wrote down. as long as it's a first-hand account, somehow, doesn't matter how, a first-hand account would count as a pure voice of the past, without any bias, unless it's... Still, bias is taking into context sides, but let's put that aside. In conclusion, as I'm sure you've all surmised by now, my view of our future is thus... Oh, future. I thought we were talking about the past. Wait, what? What does he mean, Gold D? Ha! All those prisoners in Impel Down think his name was Gold Roger. They don't know his name was Gold D Roger. To be continued. What? That's the last page? I don't even recognize any of these people. What a cliffhanger! What a cliffhanger! Screw that! Okay. At least it wasn't a short chapter, technically. No hate towards Oda. He needs his rest and all that. But I would have liked at least some more information at the end of the chapter. Okay, lots of stuff happened. Yeah, Cloudy Clover, big. Atlas, big. Lilith, looking good for joining the Straw Hat crew. I won this at the claw machines in Japan. I actually won a Stussy one as well, but since Stussy's not in this chapter, I'm gonna show this off. I haven't even opened it yet. It took a lot of unnecessary tries to win this because it was my first time. All that, lots of money, but worth it. Along with seeing the Luffy statue, of course, visiting Japan was pretty nice. It'll be extra worth it if she does join the crew as you know, Vegapunk joining the Straw Hat crew. She's technically Vegapunk, and she's probably my favorite one. Yes, I'm a simp. I think this chapter will be dedicated to Atlas indeed. It's a good title. And I think I'm gonna call this video Extra Service on the House. Well, yeah. Lilith had to be knocked out to not stop Atlas from sacrificing herself. I think that was the intended meaning of this, and everyone else is gone. Technically, the only ones left are York and Lilith, if Lilith survives. Man. Oh, I forgot to mention. Luffy says, it says it wants to protect someone named Joy Boy. Who's that? And the Giants don't react to Joy Boy. And you gotta always realize this. Joy Boy and Nika are not identical in all cultures. The Giants worship Nika, the sun god. I'm trying to make a connection between Zunisha and Fishman Island. And the only connection I can see is Shirahoshi and Momo being able to speak to large creatures, which have been people have been talking about that for ages. Now, also, the last thing I forgot to mention is Joy Boy, you said when the time is right. I think this counts. I'm going to use it, okay? What is it? Uranus? Is it the ancient weapon Uranus? Because that would mean that whatever destroyed Alusha might not be Uranus. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Wait, what if this robot is Pluton? Nah, Pluton is under Wano. It's too late to retcon that now. Is it? Nah, whatever. Let's end the chapter there. Thank you guys for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, sharing with a friend. Stay tuned for next chapter. Just leave a comment for your thoughts and theories, if you have any, because this was a good development. This is a great arc, probably the best arc. Okay, I'm rambling. Thanks again. See you next time.